Hello, welcome to the Star Card Tarot. This is Karen coming with some messages. Not sure if I'm going to read cards today. I might pull a few every once in a while, not sure. But I've got them on hand just in case. But I've been getting messages coming through from last week. And it wasn't that I was sensing or feeling that they were premature or anything like that. It's just that with this Cancer season, it's like an undoing of a layer. Then you think, oh yeah, you're good there, and then all of a sudden something else is opened up to you and you go deeper, right? So I'll show you guys a couple of the messages that I was getting. The first one that I really stood out to me, I got that song by Elton John and Kiki D, but they did a duet, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, but it wasn't the song. It was just the words, and ooh-hoo, or ooh-hoo, nobody knows it, nobody knows. Yeah, that part was profound. I know that when we are co-creating, doing our manifesting, it's good to keep things to ourselves, right? And so that you can nourish your creation, right? That came up. The song Here Comes the Sun, but it was by Ghost BC, came up. A song Grab It's by Dead Mouse. And at that time I wrote down also a song, Not Exactly, but that had a real feel for that Neptune retrograde. So when Neptune is active and doing its thing, it's very dreamy, and I've heard one of the people that I look up to talk about, when Neptune is in retrograde, it's like the rose-colored glasses have come off, right? So that's why that song, I feel like that came in. I got by Diane Ward, This Is Why I'm Hot, This Is Why I'm Hot. And I feel like that one came up so that we can always remember our foundational core, that you are the best, you are perfect, because there is no other like you. So when people talk about, perfectly imperfect, yeah, I can get that, but you're an original. They could be doppelgangers or people who look like you, but you are an original. That's why you're hot. Because you're an individual as in your collective, right? I kept getting that song Days Go by Dirty Vegas, probably since last winter, last fall. It kept coming up in my readings, and it came up again, Dirty Vegas, Dirty Vegas. But recently I was learning about the vagus nerve, not spelled like Vegas, but Vagus. And so that's the nerve that runs through the base of your brain, your spinal connection to your brain, to your heart, and to your gut. And so I'm now seeing Dirty Vegas is specifically speaking on strengthening that vagus nerve for any of you out there. A big one that came up today was cards on the table, or put your cards on the table. Whether it's like poker or this or that, or just that statement or that reference, when your cards are on the table. That came up so strong. So, like tarot, when I explain tarot to people, I talk about whatever, as within, so without, as without, so within, as above, so below. So, whatever cards are on the table is kind of like, this is your focus at the moment. Cards on the table came up, And I feel like right now this is the time to be brave. Step by step by step, because we've been building to this. It's your integrity, because we're in Cancer season. So if I'm putting my stuff out there, it's like, oh, like almost kind of like, say, dirty laundry, or whatever cards on the table can mean to somebody. And a thing came up in my mind is, who are you running from? So if you can put your stuff out there, you can find solutions, or be able to dissect it or transmute it. But if you're too afraid to put it out there, it's just going to be left to the side. So that was a really, really big one that came up. I got simplicity of identifying your emotions. It came in reference with, it's going to sound funny, I know we all have masculine and feminine within us, but I got PMS. So for my own self, in a female energy, in a female body, I know what PMS can feel like, post or pre, whatever, however it can show up in your 3D. So when PMS happens, a lot of times it's this over emotional. Like you can be like over sad, over depressed. You can even over love something, right? And that's the the funny hormonal stuff that goes on with PMS. But that word came up because Cancer season. It's not because Cancer season is over emotional. No, it's not. It's that time to really sort through things. So what I got from all that, so I feel like because we're in Cancer season, I feel like for some reason I'm getting like the whole world right now, because we're in these astrological transits and things, the way the sun moves through the houses around the wheel. I feel like how I could relate to it and how I could convey it to everybody. It feels like PMS. Like, you want to be sad, you don't even know what you're sad about, or you want to be lovey, but you don't know what you're lovey about. But what that's indicating is that you have feelings, right? So, you can't just feel it. You have to allow it. And it's going to be groundbreaking. So if you allow yourself right now to feel your feelings, it's going to be groundbreaking for you. It doesn't mean you have to act on your feelings. I'm not saying that, no. Feel it. Feel what is projecting out of you. Feel it. Identify it. Notice it. And then I got, there is so much more to the story. So again, like if we, are co-creators, we have a hand in our fate. And right now, I got the word, there is so much more to the story. And so that got me thinking about stuff. Like I've been learning about co-creation, law of attraction, manifestation, kind of like basically our basic birthright stuff that we are entitled to, that we, we're just meant to live and enjoy. And there's so much more to the story, is that, we can take control of it. Like writing the story down. You know what I mean? Like, we can, whether it's in your mind or with your writing or your visions, imaginal acts, there's so much more. And to allow it, and it's interesting because I was going to say, you know, for my own self, with my law of attraction and co-creation story, I've been manifesting so many good things, and as a person, I've not experienced so many of those good things before. So it's almost like overload. I'm almost like, to this point, I want to put brakes on almost. And then I had to say to myself, Karen, go look in a mirror and go smack yourself in the face a couple times. Just kidding. But kind of just snap myself out of it, you know, and understand that this is new ground. That's why I was saying it's groundbreaking. If you can just feel it, and even if you can feel it in small increments, and if that's what you can handle, or you can take at a time, or you can only allow so much emotion or so much feeling coming out of you, it's not what's coming in right now, it's what's going out. Like, I was at the beach the other day, and I go there often, and I just about couldn't even handle it. Like, right now I'm just about tearing, like, my eyes are getting watery. I couldn't even handle how freaking beautiful everything was. It was unreal. I'm like, okay, well, I know I've been to the beach before, and I know I've looked at a beautiful sunset 1,000 times. And it wasn't because it was different. It's because the energies that we're going through right now is what's making it different. And it's the appreciation, the seeing, the really understanding, the feel your emotions. Doesn't matter if they're crazy. I'll have a drink now. Just 1 second. It doesn't matter if it's crazy or sound. You know, again, there's no right or wrong in everything that we're doing right now, right? And in the past, I thought, I had a wall, and I'd been working on that for a long time. And just out of the blue today, I was reflecting on that visit the other day when I was at the beach, and it's still making me cry how beautiful it was. Just perfect. I didn't need anything. I didn't need, music in the background. I didn't need company. And I never normally do. But there was such a fullness, a full completeness. Because what I was realizing is normally it's like I'm asking me. Oh, I want this, I want that, like a child. And this time it was the outward flow and the appreciation. And I know I've had moments of those things here and there. But I'm telling you, this whole month is magic. It's unreal. So take things in small increments. So if it feels a little bit overwhelming, or if you've never done it before, like say you've wanted $1 million and you've never had $1 million before, and you don't know what it feels like to have that, and you still want to have that, take the feelings of it in the small increments. I also got the word dive deeper. Because again, if there's territory we've been through, you can kind of know what to expect. But again, say I've never been a millionaire, so I don't know what it would feel like. So if I'm getting glimpses of glory and beautifulness and satisfaction, it's making me cry to look at the sunset, just take it in those small increments and get used to those feelings. I got every song by Lana Del Rey. She's like a little mermaid. Just everything that you can listen to by her. It's very, very dreamy. And I feel like, again, because Neptune is retrograde, so we can't get that dreaminess where it normally comes through Neptune and it showers on us. We've got to pull it out from ourselves. So if you're feeling like you are too realistic or you're stale, just get yourself in a dreamy mode with listening to Lana Del Rey. I got Gemini season taught us how to think outside yourself. Right? I got utilize everything you've gained from Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Like, so again, if we're going around the wheel, we started at Aries, which gives us that we've got a passion because we grabbed an idea from Pisces. And we're going to put that idea into our mind. It gives us that flash of instinct. You know, it's even before passion. It's like instinct. You know, it's, yeah, do that. Then from Aries season, we got into Taurus, and it's grounding and it's making those ideas form into manifestation. Well, now it's here. You know, you're all pimp styling. And then we get into Gemini, and is yourself with your regular thought processes, you know, and like how Gemini folk are, you know, and we go through all the different seasons, you know, whatever, so we get a little bit of a glimpse into how they act and how we can relate to them. It's almost like getting yourself outside of your own mind, or allowing and not being stuck, and allowing for change, allowing for a new fresh idea to come in, you know, and cultivating that. Gemini season got me switching up my apartment with my furniture and redesigning it. And mostly, I'm going to say, like, say 80% is went back to the original spots, but I'm like, hey, you know, like, if Gemini season didn't inspire me, all my stuff would have been the same. And more than likely, my thought processes would have been the same. You know, like, there's a lot that goes on there. But now we're at Cancer. And I got feel into it, open up to opportunity. Again, if something's too much for you, just take your increments. Or if you're into new territory that you've never been in before, you don't know what it feels like, do a little bit at a time, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. Check it out. Be an explorer. And I got the word raw. Just one moment. I had to go blow my nose. I was tearing up and crying. I may as well have a little sip. This is so good. And look at that. I'm out of my pages. I'll have to go get a new book. I wanted to quickly read this. I don't think we're going to do the cards. So this comes from Michael Langford, who's an author about talking about the ego. The book is called The Most Direct and Rapid Means to Eternal Bliss. And so how he writes it is, traditionally you would have paragraphs of words or sentences following sentences. And again, this is just a little excerpt of his stuff. So every sentence he writes, he'll number it, and, you know, like you take it real slow. But this was really profound, so I will read this for you guys. Chapter 8, Michael Langford. The most direct and rapid means to find, or the most direct and rapid means to eternal bliss. So I'm gonna, for now, forego the numbers, and I'll just read each sentence. It says, just relax and continue watching your awareness. Here is a way to look at it. Awareness, watching awareness, is a little like falling in love. You spend time with someone. You watch them. You observe them. But you do not know them. You continue to observe them. You don't have expectations because you don't know them well enough to have expectations. You just keep on observing. Some days you have pleasant feelings while you observe them. Some days you have unpleasant feelings while you observe them. You continue to observe them. Every day you are coming to know them better, even though you may not be aware that you're coming to know them better. Then one day, suddenly and unexpectedly, you have fallen in love. Awareness, watching awareness, is a little like that. You just don't expect anything and continue watching your awareness. The fact that nothing is happening is great. If it seems like day after day it's just the same, only awareness watching awareness, that is great. Just remain content with that. If you think it's going to change, then you're adding something to awareness in the form of an expectation that it's going to change. So I hope you enjoyed